Hey everybody, welcome to my movie vlog. I'm of course John Campea, and this is our review for Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 2, also known as Stormborn. Joining me, of course, this week, as before, beside me I got Kaori Takee.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be here. I love this episode even more than the season premiere.
And right beside me is Arya Campea.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Okay, so this was an eventful episode. Some very key things happened in this episode, whether it's, the summoning of Jon Snow, we got Joy getting his first love scene, we've got Jorah getting a little, plastic surgery being done, we got finally a confrontation, like face-to-face conversation between Jon Snow and Littlefinger, we've got, of course, the big naval battle at the end, a whole bunch of stuff. So, Kaori, let's start with you. What are some of the things that really stood out to you about the episode tonight?
A lot of excitement, especially I love seeing Daenerys with her council, and I love seeing that it was such a change from season 1 when the council of Robert Baratheon were all men, and now it's strong ass women ready to go together up against another strong ass woman, Cersei Lannister. I love that. I love Arya and reuniting with Nymeria. It's been way too long for us. And of course, Jon Snow almost choke slamming Littlefinger. That was pretty awesome. All in all, I really liked everything. And taking us back to previous seasons with Hot Pie, of course.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, and then seeing more of the Tarleys. I liked everything of this episode.
Isn't Hot Pie, I can't remember the name of the kid, isn't Hot Pie just like Game of Thrones' version of that kid from Stranger Things?
Oh, Dustin.
Oh,
so cute.
That was kind of cute. What about you, man? What are some things that stood out to you?
Yeah, this episode was crazy good.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm with Corey saying that I think it was better than the first episode.
Yeah.
There were a lot of critical decisions being made. There was a lot of conversation, but really, really important to each house's or each place's strategy on how to take the throne. And each person is approaching it very differently. And it's really a strategic battle at this point, right? So Daenerys having her council meeting and making the decisions that she made during this episode versus what Cersei is doing, which is far more, I think, aggressive than Daenerys is moving, right? So it's just, to watch that play out was just really, really interesting.
The naval battle at the end surprised me a little bit because when he said to Cersei, a proper gentleman brings back a gift or whatever, and he said he's going to go get a gift, I thought he was going to go get Tyrion.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
Yeah, because Cersei was just talking about how much she hates her brother, right? So I thought he was going to go get Tyrion. So it caught me a little bit by surprise, which is a good thing. I mean, the show does a really good job of kind of giving you a little bit of misdirection without straight up deceiving you as an audience member. And so when that scene happened, it was great. And I'm sorry, killer line of the episode is when the Queen Dorne was going in on her, and she looks over at him and goes, "Your sister's about to experience a foreign invasion." It's like, okay, that's the line. Actually, that's the line of the year so far. That was pretty good. The scene, though, with Sam and Jorah, it's a simple scene. Sam is going to try.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, it's a simple scene, right? Like he's going to try to fix him. But the way it played out, they really communicated the drama of the scene. Like, this dude, you can't even imagine the pain that this dude's in. And the graphic nature of them showing, it's like, oh yeah, you as the audience member felt the pain. That's always great when a television show or movie can teleport you as an audience member into it so you feel it too and you experience, whether it's emotion or whether it's physical disgust and pain. They did that great. And then they did that great little camera cut to another scene.
The transitions
are
just
great. Breaking the meat pie. It's like, and it fools you just for a second. Speaking of teleporting you there and making you feel something physically, we had the long-awaited sort of sex scene.
Grey Worm in Missandei.
So, I mean, like, I was just waiting for her to say, like, since you don't do, you're a commander, you must be good with your tongue, right? Like, I was expecting.
I mean, I was hoping they'd show it, like the blank space.
They showed it all. You want to see the blank space? I thought you were saying you wanted them to show him going down on her. It's like they kind of did try as much as they could for television.
I think it was just really critical for Grey Worm, though. That was just such a big thing for him, being a man without that part of him, and then having to show that to the woman that he loves. It was just really, really good dialogue between the two of them too. Like, really pulled at my heartstrings.
She has a really nice body, by the way. Just wanted to shout out to that.
Yeah, no, she's gorgeous. But to me, the soliloquy he gave her and talking about the masters always expose us to our fears. I never had any fears. That whole speech he gave her, to me, is one of the, honestly, and I'm not using hyperbole here, I'm not just saying it because we just happen to be talking about Game of Thrones right now. It was one of the greatest expressions of love, verbal expressions of affection and emotion and love I've ever seen on television. I'm not going to say it's the number one, but it's got to rank up there. I felt it. It was tugging at my heartstrings. It's like, damn, dude, I'm as straight as they get, but I'd give you a hug for that. Without even that speech.
He didn't even have to say the words, I love you. And you knew what he meant.
Yeah.
You knew what he meant. I think that was just really, really special for both those characters. We've all been waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, I got pretty sentimental at that part. And the only part that topped that was Nymeria's encounter with Arya.
With the wolf, yeah. That one was pretty good. But she played that scene, the love scene, so well because you could have played that kind of Hammy. Like, as he's giving this incredible speech, she could have played it and they could have had the character play it like going, and patting her head. But no, she played it in such a way that it's like, you bought her that she was being emotionally overwhelmed. And I just love the way they played that out. But I know you guys were freaking out, when the direwolf shows up.
Oh, yeah.
You guys love that. Talk about that for a second.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think it's just seeing Arya grow up and then seeing, what's the direwolf's name again? Nymeria, fully grown now, huge. And has her own life and, her own pack, her own family. And just to see them reconnect that was amazing.
And I think it's also really symbolic because she finds out Jon Snow is now King of the North. And she's like the last person to know that, by the way. And so she's on her way back. So symbolically, she
doesn't have Twitter on her cell phone.
True. She's on her lonesome, hanging out with Ed Sheeran.
I don't think we've seen the end of that direwolf either.
I hope not.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to step. She's going to continue on this journey. And I think at some point she's going to get in trouble and then find out that Nymeria has been following her the whole time and will save her at the last second or whatever. I don't think we see that. And I think when we get that reunion back at the North, and I think the wolf is going to be part of it. So
I would love that. I mean, like the direwolf and the Starks, they belong together. So,
and let's talk for a second about that war council that Daenerys was having there. They pointed out in the post show, little behind the scenes look too, but it's true. This is the first time in Game of Thrones where there's this big, huge war room going on, and all the key players in it are women. I mean, yes, Tyrion was there, but Tyrion was second to Daenerys. He's the hand of the queen. But like all the main power players were women. And I didn't even they play this scene so right. I didn't even realize it. The scene didn't make an issue out of it. They didn't have any of the characters go, look at us, vaginas unite. We are the strong. No, they didn't even touch it. No, and so it just felt natural. So I didn't even notice it until afterwards when they were talking about it in the post show thing. I'm like, oh, yeah. And that's a testament to how well they played the scene. It's like, nope, these weren't four powerful women. These are four powerful characters. And they just played it like that. And I thought that was really something good.
And then kind of the same thing happening with Cersei and her trying to strike fear into getting these alliances with all these men. Yeah. Again, she's one to be feared. And she's telling these stories about Daenerys, trying to get them to be on her side. So woman controlling that room full of men, and then in the opposite, Daenerys in a room full of women trying to strategize how to win.
Now, do you guys, because we're talking about Daenerys, do you guys trust Viserys? Not Viserys. Yeah, it is Viserys. Viserys, when they had the conversation at the beginning, when he's talking about how he's loyal to the people and he's not like loyal to the throne.
No, I've always gotten that impression from him. Like it seems to me that his motivation has always been what's been good for the Seven Kingdoms. And it's like, I was your best friend, but you ain't good for the Seven Kingdoms anymore. So I'm going to go do this. And that's always seemed to be his motivation. To me, he's probably, if not then at least one of the most fascinating characters
completely
in the entire series. Like going all the way back to when he first showed up till now. Like he's constantly one of these guys, when he shows up on screen, you're like, you want to really pay attention. He's a power player, but he doesn't carry himself like a power player. He doesn't let himself be seen as a power player, and that's what makes him a power player because he's so good that way. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that ship naval battle.
Oh,
yes,
God.
Sure.
At the end there. Lots of people dying. Now, I didn't really notice in the wreckage, as he's floating in the water looking up, you see somebody hanging from the boat. Was that his sister that was hanged?
No.
Or did they take
it
his
was
sister?
the sand snakies.
Oh, it was one of the sand snakies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, by sand snakies. I mean, so
except for Mama.
Except for Mama. She's going to be the prize for Cersei.
Right. Who would have thought there would be 2 prizes for Cersei?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting, like 2 for 1.
But how much damage did he take in that fight? He got he got stabbed or sliced like 7 times.
By an arrow, like sliced in the leg.
He's got to have some magic in him or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like there's got to be something running through his veins. There's no way.
Because didn't he take a knife to the balls too? Didn't she like
no. That was another.
Was that another character?
Downstairs, yeah.
Okay, then that goes into one little criticism I had about that whole naval battle scene. They shot it like a bad filmmaker, because it was so dark and so many quick edits and shaky camera that it took away from the kind of epicness of what that scene should. It was still a good scene. I still enjoyed it. I still liked watching it. It was very dramatic the way they played out. I just wish they chose a different style for their camera work for it, so I could have felt it a little bit more. Instead, it just felt a little too confusing. To the point that I thought it was him that got knifed in the crotch. I didn't realize it was somebody else. So, because I was like, he's fighting too good for a dude who just took a knife in the nether regions. I mean,
I am really happy that they did that scene like right now in the second episode. I was kind of scared that Euron wouldn't go get his prize for a while, and it was a perfect ending to the episode for me.
So this throws a bit of a wrench, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing that I was thinking watching when they were having that big war room scene and they lay out the whole plan. I'm like, in a television show, when they lay out the whole plan, that means the plan ain't going to work. When they hide the plan, that's usually when the plan works. So if they were about to have the big war room scene, they go, and then Tyrion steps up, here's the plan. And then they cut away. Then you know, whatever their plan is going to work. When they let you see the plan, you know it ain't going to work out. So there's like that Navy, her naval ships. Like her Navy just got taken out. They're gone.
Yeah.
So now this really throws a wrench into things and really ups the stakes now. Because now Jon Snow coming to see Dany. And now she needs him
extremely
a lot
critical.
more than she did before. So this whole attitude of hers of tell him to come and bend the knee. Well, first of all, Jon Snow ain't going to do that. And now you can't be so cavalier about it, lady.
No, you can't.
You need this dude probably more than he needs you now. So that's going to be a really interesting dynamic. Because I know when they showed in the coming next week and he walks in the room, I know you were like, damn. Like,
right.
you were all
I was like,
excited about
oh my God, I need it to be next week already. It was so good.
I think Cersei is slowly making a dent in Daenerys' army. And it's scary because I wrote that down.
That's a major piece. That's a major piece.
Is Daenerys making a mistake by not attacking now? And so you've got Lady Olenna, is it? That's trying to convince her to be a dragon and be aggressive and just go for it. You have everything in your favor right now. Yet she wants to take the strategic route and try to kind of continue to build. And it makes me nervous because now with the ships gone and her trying to figure out how to defeat the dragons, what's next?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's scary.
All right. So I know after the show ended, Corey, you were saying, I'm trying to think of something I didn't like.
I was trying really hard.
I mean, usually this is the part of the recap where we talk about the things I think they could have done better. I've already mentioned one thing, the way they shot the naval, the battle on the sea. I thought they could have shot that a little bit better so we could have been immersed in the action a little bit more. But honestly, dear heavens, that Jorah and Sam scene to me was just incredible.
I love Sam.
And also that scene with Jon Snow with his council, telling his council he's going to go. The council all brought up really great points. It's like, we're in a time of war. Somebody, the Mad King lured somebody in before and killed them. And we need our king here. They were all completely valid points. But then Jon also made great valid points. The White Walkers are... That's always his go-to argument.
At the end of the day.
That's his go-to argument every time, but it's not wrong. Look, the White Walkers are coming, folks. We've got to do something a little bit different because we're in trouble.
Or we dead no matter what.
Right, like houses, whatever your alliances are, it doesn't matter anymore once the White Walkers come and the Night King comes to take over. They all have to band together at some point.
So the situation first, Cersei's got to be dealt with first.
Yes.
Yep.
And I don't think, I'm making a prediction here. I could be wrong about this. I don't think we're going to see like a Hobbit and the Battle of the Four Armies where they all band together now to fight together because here come the orcs and the goblins. I don't think we're going to see Cersei and maybe Jaime, but I don't think we're going to see Cersei joining up with Dany and joining up with Jon Snow and joining up with
absolutely not.
I think we might see Jaime on the throne. I think Cersei might die and Jaime might end up on the throne, and then maybe he aligns with him. But I don't know. I don't think Jaime. Wild guesses.
I don't think Jaime wants to be on the throne, though. He's not insane.
Yeah, I don't think Jon Snow wants to be on the throne either.
Yeah,
but you do what you do out of responsibility.
That's true. I guess the only negative that I can really think about is that we didn't see Brandon Stark. you know,
Yeah.
because I want to see more of him. I want to see him go to his brother.
But that is one of the weaknesses of Game of Thrones is that, you know, they have so many great characters that you can go entire episodes without seeing your favorite for a while. That's just an unfortunate thing. Well, I mean, there's the positives and what tiny negatives we had. I thought this was a great episode. Yeah. Looking forward to the next one a lot. I think now we have 11 episodes of Game of Thrones left.
Yeah.
Not 11 episodes left this season. Like, we've got 11 episodes of Game of Thrones left at all. Total. So, anyway, guys, what did you think of this episode of Game of Thrones Stormborn? Jump down to the comment section and leave your thoughts. Kaori, where can people find you online? You can find me everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Kaorious. Kaorious. And right here, Anne Campea. That's a neat last name. Oh. Where can people find you? I have a great last name. You can find me at Anne Campea, my first and last name. Can I leave a question for the fans? Yes. Because this is going to trouble me until the next episode. Do you guys think Sansa is going to turn on Jon now that she's kind of holding fort while he's gone? Yeah, there's a little darkness bubbling underneath there. You know, Littlefinger's just been trying to poke it. She has some like Catelyn blood in her, and Catelyn wasn't fond of Jon, so... Yeah. Yeah. Let me know. I'm curious. Everybody that. That's a good point. And you guys can simply follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, just at John Campea. While you're here, guys, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And until next week, we'll see you next time.